There have been a bunch of people just asking me like, oh, what do you have set to your controllers, or how do you do input XYZ, right? I mean, I wouldn't say that it's like optimal or anything, but the way that I have it set up is like this. This is what I have. I mean, if you have Pro Controller versus GameCube, it doesn't really matter. Some people say that, oh, because you have the notches on the analog sticks for GameCube like this, that it helps you get the diagonals correctly. That's actually false. The input on the analog sticks gets registered before the analog stick actually hits the notch. If you know what I'm talking about. Like if you slightly move the analog stick a little bit, the game registers the input before it even touches the edge of your like notch, or the where the analog stick is like mounted. So that actually doesn't matter at all. So like whether you have whether you have GameCube or Pro Controller, like you still have to be like accurate. I mean, if I had a GameCube controller, then I'd probably set it up like this. I mean, either way, if you can do whatever you want with these. Like stick jump does not matter, but I personally turn it off. I have this on high. I don't know how much of a difference that makes. And then this needs to be tilt. Like with how often you do use forward tilt, like you have to set that to tilt attack. That you do.
You don't belong
and then
in this world.
Just for other conveniences, I do have R set to shield, but I'd have L set to grab. One of these would preferably be set to jump. I'll explain why. One of these set to jump, one of these set to grab, and then everything else is like up to you. This would probably be fine, honestly, for a GameCube controller, but I don't use that. Okay, so with the control scheme that I showed you, there are certain situations where you're doing the same move, but you want to use C stick versus A. So, for example, with these, you want to use A. If you have a specific character, let's just say you're fighting Palutena and she's spamming neutral B or she's spamming side B, then you want to use down angle forward air out of shield. This is like a really good out of shield option against lagging projectiles like Wolf neutral B, Joker side B, etc., etc. So how I do this, I run up shield. As I'm shielding, I angle the control stick diagonally downward. So what's going to happen is if I think that I'm fighting Wolf, I think he's going to shoot a laser. You run up, hold shield, and then I slide my thumb from like X to A, and I get this. Oh, sorry, that. So you're just angling the shield downward and then pressing X to A while holding the left stick forward. This is with the left stick and pressing A. Like this. Sometimes if you're trying to stuff jumps, you use the left stick too. There aren't too many other times where I'd use it. It's just the buffered ones like this. So next is just these landing ones like this. Whenever you land or you're trying to hit somebody at the ledge like this, you use the C stick for these when you land with it. And it's important so you're going to fast fall. And when you fast fall with it, you actually input the aerial before you fast fall because it comes out. It has a good amount of startup. See, you jump, I start the forward air, and then I input fast fall. See the star right there? The star indicates when you started your fast fall, and you get it right here. And that's the one frame that it's active for. So in order to do that, I have to input the fast fall before the aerial. It sounds kind of counterintuitive, but yeah. See, if I do the fast fall first, I get this. And so that's why, because with the C stick, it's a lot easier. Because if I wanted to do it with the left stick, then I'd have to hold forward and then press down. And you could get it, but you're not going to be able to retreat and do it like say this. So I input forward air and then fast fall. Wait, where is it? So it's like this. So I start the forward air at like the top of your jump and then press down like that. And then you get forward air like at about, this height right here. Same thing with back air. It's the exact same thing. I mean, you can angle it up too. But what's really good about this one is that it has the least amount of cooldown. So, in neutral or at the corner, you're able to attack in rapid succession like this. Like back to back. Up air is kind of the same thing. Well, it depends. Up air's kind of complicated. So if you're falling with it, this is the C stick. Any aerials that I'm falling with, I use the C stick. Basically, that's like a general rule of thumb. So if I get him stuck in the fire like this, then I do the same thing with forward air, but with up air. Same thing. It's like I jump in the air, I input the up air, and then fast fall like that. And so you want to get it like right before his feet touch the ground. Same thing. Like that. You press down, you press up on the C-stick, and then down. You fast fall with it like that. And so the hitbox active right before he touches the ground. It's the same thing for all of these aerials. Down air, obviously, that's like a different story. Down air 9 times out of 10. I think every time I do down air, I do the C-stick. I don't think it really matters. You could do it either way, but I usually use the C-stick. It's just easier for me. But so if you're trying to juggle somebody, that's different. And juggling is the reason why I have my left shoulder L set to jump. One of my shoulder buttons set to jump. This is why. So if somebody's drifting away from you, you run after them and buffer it like this. This I'm doing with the left stick. So because you don't want to chase after somebody in the air like this. His air acceleration is one of the worst in the game. So you want to try and be on the ground before you commit to up airing them. So you're running and then doing it. So it's kind of simple. You want to make sure you don't time it wrong or else you get a smash attack. It's the same thing. It's just run, jump, and then up A at the same time. I mean, you could do it with the C-stick, but it's not as fast. It's like trying to do one of these with the C-stick. It's not as fast, and you might not get the jump height that you want. See how I'm trying to do this with the C-stick, and sometimes I'll get a double jump, but sometimes it's too high. It won't reach, as compared to if I do it with A. So what you want to do is if you're juggling somebody, you want to, if you jump backwards, you immediately get all of your aerial momentum in the opposite direction. So like I said, remember how I said he doesn't have very good air acceleration? So if I jump and I realize he's going in the wrong direction, you don't do this. Because I can't get him. Because I don't move to the left at all. So what you want to do is if you try to go for that second up air, you want to use the shoulder button and jump backwards and then buffer the up air with the C-stick. And I get this. And it helps you juggle them better. Because if you commit to using that second jump, you can't. You realize they're going in the opposite direction. So, I mean, I do it with you can do it with the X button. I usually tend to do it with that, actually. But, honestly, it'd be better if you do it with that's the only time I use left shoulder for jump, basically. Oh, I gotta read the chat. Can they do any tether cancel recovery mix-ups? Not really. It's not like Joker or Ivy where they go up. Watch. If I cancel the tether, I just keep falling as if it never happened. Or if I swing. That's it. That's the only tether canceling shenanigans he has, really, is that. Because, I mean, there is an amount of... If you're trying to delay, you get 2 full-length tethers, but there's only a certain amount of time you can hold it before he has to reel in. For every other tilt, for tilts, right? All my tilts I do with the C-stick. Yeah, pretty much all of them are with the tilt stick. It makes it easier, especially the pivoting stuff. So if you don't know how to do that... Some people don't know how to do that. It doesn't take that long to practice. All you have to do is when you run, notice that you have to, I'm sure you all know that you have to dash, cancel this skid animation if you want to turn directions in this game. It's a lot more efficient if you run, let go, and then go in the other direction like this. Versus skidding. See, look at how much longer it takes me to go back and forth versus this. So it's this game added the ability to run up and then stop and immediately attack, or run up and immediately up smash, unlike in Smash 4 where you had to shield to stop moving, or you'd slide. During this skidding animation is actually when you're able to do a pivot tilt. So what happens is I can flick my C-stick in any direction except for down, because that changes its momentum. So during the skid animation right here, I went from right to left. I'm holding left. I did not let go. During the skid animation, you press right on the C-stick. See how he's moving? He's sliding as he's doing the move. And that helps with spacing a lot. You can do that with any tilt with any character. It especially helps with this character because the reverse forward tilt makes this safe. So all I'm doing is you're doing this where I'm immediately just going left, right, over and over again. But while I change directions, I press the C-stick in one direction, not letting go and doing it, because then I'll just stop like this. Versus, yeah. and you could do it with any tilt. So let's just, I mean, there's occasionally you're trying to get over to somewhere and you want to use up tilt, and you can use it like that. Only with tilts, though. It does not work with smash attacks. It does not work with jab. It does not work with specials. Just tilts. Another tech, yeah, I'll talk about no impact landing. Only this character can do it. I heard Captain Falcon can do it, but it's just a timing thing. So how this works is you have to, first of all, jump backwards. I heard you could do it while jumping forwards, but I've never gotten it jumping forwards. Like, and this has to be nearly frame perfect. So I jump backwards. You have to jump backwards like this. And right before his feet are at platform level, you press double jump. See, I did it too early there. So right here, like level with the platform right here, you press jump again. And you just immediately land on the platform with like, maybe like 2 frames of lag. Practically no lag. Like, you're able to act almost immediately. So if somebody's on the platform, you could just, well, you could nil grab them, but if you mess up, then you get this, and that's a very bad situation to be in. That's the risk you take when going for this. It's not very easy to pull off, but if you can get it consistently, you can do things like this. I've rarely landed this in a match. Like, only in friendlies have I gotten these grabs, and it's obviously a lot harder to do on Wi-Fi when there's lag. The main reason I use it is when the opponent just respawned and I'm trying to throw them off. Or let's just say you're fighting a character that none of their aerials do that much shield pressure. You're fighting somebody, they just respawn, I'll go like this. They just respawn, I'll go like this. Just get on the platform and immediately put up shield. I mean, you could just wait. You might as well like wave land. But when you're going for the grab, I mean, this is unreactable versus having to do this and then grab. They can totally see that. I guess another tech is like putting the fire on the platform, which honestly just comes down to being able to space correctly. I just usually check with an F tilt, and you're at the distance right there. If you jump, it actually, the window to land it is actually bigger. So watch, I can actually crawl forward a little bit like that and still get it. Look at that. I can still get it. Crawl forward. Still get it. But if I'm on the ground, look it misses. There. But if I crawl forward just a little bit, it misses. And look at there, it didn't even descend. The reason that is the bottle goes at a sharper angle when you throw it in the air versus on the ground. So watch, like right here. If I throw it on the ground, it'll just fly across the stage like that. Versus if I'm in the air, it'll go right here. The main purpose of doing that is to just 2-frame, or you could catch a tether or something with it, but it's not. I don't like praise going, like, how do I say this? I don't like try to make it my life goal to like make sure I know how to space it. As long as you put it within range to catch their hang, that's all that really matters. Another thing people have trouble with for some reason, I'm not sure why, but is they'll keep getting the smash input for this, for the cross, instead of the shorter one. And honestly, that's just like making sure that you're holding forward. So like they'll be doing this, and then they'll accidentally get the long version. And there's like a couple ways you could do it. I mean, you could just walk and then throw it. All that matters is you need to be holding forward for maybe like 4 frames, something like that, before you actually press B. So watch. Here, I'm going to be like, I'm going to hold forward and count how many frames. 1, 2, 3, 4. Which one do I get? That's the long one. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The short one. You have to hold forward for exactly 5 frames in order to throw the short version. So, I mean, it's not really that long if you just walk forward for a little bit and throw it like that. You could do it you could put up shield, for example, and then throw it. Like, you could do this, you could do this. Easiest way is probably just do it. Shield, and then while you let go, you're holding forward, like this. So I'm holding shield, I let go of shield, I'm holding forward this whole time. Then I press B and I get that. Or you could like spot dodge, I'm holding forward, and hit B at the same time. And you'll still get it like that. Or you air dodge, you're in landing lag, hold forward and B at the same time. You get that. There's like a bunch of different ways you could do it. I mean, if I throw an axe, I'm holding forward and B like this whole time. The timing shouldn't be that like complicated as long as you're holding forward and B during whatever lag you put yourself in. Oh, I actually didn't talk about the buffered aerials that much. This in particular, I got used to doing it with the left stick, but it would actually be more efficient if you you learned how to do these using the shoulder jump. So all I'm doing in slow motion is I'm going to dash forward with the left stick, dash forward, jump, and then downward diagonally and A at the same time, and I get this. And because his air drift or his air acceleration is negligible, it won't change your aerial momentum that much to do this. And that's basically it. So it's kind of like you're doing a diagonal, like you're doing a triangle. Well, not even a triangle. It's kind of like a command input almost. So it's like you're going like basically to the right, jump, and then down bottom left corner, and you could just do it either direction. But if you can learn to do it with the left stick as left shoulder as jump, you get this, and it's a lot cleaner. Like you can do it like instantaneously and get full aerial momentum without slowing down either. Like look at this. This is me doing C stick in the left shoulder, but I haven't made it muscle memory. Like I feel like I've been doing it the other way, but this is optimal. This is definitely optimal. The risk of doing it like this though is the way that the devs made the controls is there's like a video by BT Smash Dudes or something with all the complaints about the controls. Is if you input the C stick before the jump and you're doing the aerial in the reverse direction, then you will get the aerial in the direction you're holding with the left stick, which is wrong. So like if I'm trying to do this, so if I'm holding left stick forward and I'm pressing C stick back, if I press the C stick before I press jump, I get this. I get the aerial in the wrong direction. That's the risk that you take by using the C stick for those versus me. I use the left stick for these. So these aren't as clean as say this, but if you mess up with this, you get your aerial in the wrong direction and that could like cost you neutral. How do you get falling up air out of holy water consistently? It depends on the character. First of all, I explained this in a video, but I didn't upload it to YouTube. You want to aim for their feet. I know that it's a moving target and it's probably a lot less likely that you'll do that, but if you aim for the opponent's feet, what happens is their body gets put up in the air like that, and the bottle's already by the ground. So the fire will explode when Mario is pretty high up in the air, and he'll be higher. But if I hit his head, if I hit him in the head with the bottle, like this, now he has more time to fall to the ground because the bottle hasn't started yet. Look at Mario's already on the ground by the time, like he's basically on the ground by the time the fire starts, and he's lower. So it's harder to get the up. I still got it though. But like small details like that can actually matter. But if the opponent is SDIing up, which most of them do, then it shouldn't even make a difference.
Like reminds me of it. This is a character in Belmont that should be edge-guarded rather. Oh my god!
Dude, that was disgusting.
Oh, looking so good, but down here it does miss. But unfortunately, unable to find a punish right there. Oh my god! As long as Sorting had that break.
Wow, he picked it up. Oh my lord!
Hit him with the initial holy water, and then with the blast of the holy water, and hit him with another holy water. Knows where he's gonna go. And
Oh my! I see this.